speak on one thing. You know, elders, sorry to use this expression, if we are going to church because it is a nice social place to go, then we have missed the point. Then we have missed the point. You go to church because you want to meet your business friends. You go to church because you want to meet your social friends. There is nothing wrong. That is very good fellowship. That fellowship is extremely important and it has its place. It is encouraged. And I see, like in Nairobi, you find somebody who lives in Ngong comes to Central Church. How many churches has he passed in between? Very many. And I mean, you don't want to argue with somebody like that because there is something which takes him. There is a relationship that he builds. But what becomes a challenge is if we are using the church as a club, as a social club. You go there because you are benefiting socially, but spiritually, you are far from what is required. It is extremely dangerous in that way because you see, we now almost, you know, we are not helping much. We are not helping ourselves. We are not helping ourselves. We are like flower girls. Did you hear me? We don't want to be flower girls. Sorry to use that term. If you are coming to church and you are not in church, ni kama unasindikiza wengine. Is that not so? Wewe si mwana harusi. Wewe si mwana harusi. That wedding, that feast which Christ has prepared for us. You are not there. Wewe ni flower girl. Sio watu wengine wasichana wote na best if they are not marrying that day, it is not their wedding, isn't it? Yes. I don't want any of us to be flower girls or flower boys if they are boys. Christ wants us all to be people who can be trusted. People who are ready to give their time. People who are ready to give their time and even resources for the work of God. Because without that, now we are not serving. We are not serving, and we have a challenge. You get the issue of integrity being a big challenge in our country and even in church. Do you know we have challenges even in church finances? Church finances. Or hakuna hiyo kwa Naivasha. We thank God for. Hakuna hiyo kwa Naivasha. Church buildings ni nani wanasimamia? Si ni wazee wa kanisa? If there is somewhere where you need to be extremely honest, it is in those funds. It is in those funds. If you are going to get the funds that have been contributed for the church construction, and you take even a penny you are a cursed person. You are a cursed person. The book of Malachi says, we steal from God, we rob God. You know, robbery is a very serious term. And that's what the Bible says. You are robbing me. God is saying we are robbing him by not paying tithe. Here you are in charge of funds that have been entrusted to you. Perhaps hujatoa mingi hapo kwa hiyo pesa. Hujatoa mingi kwa hiyo pesa. Na hiyo pesa ndio unaiba. I have served in church. I was a deacon. Then I was an elder. There's a time we were counting money in church. Somebody whispered to me, I was in charge of that team that day. Somebody whispers to me that, you know, Brother so and so, sometimes if we have suspected him, you also keep your eyes open. And we saw that gentleman put some money into the socks. What are you telling people? You can steal, you've stolen from all over the place, and you're stealing even from the house of God. The funds that have been contributed by very poor people, and you are stealing from them. Brothers and sisters, let us not curse ourselves. Let us not curse ourselves. We are supposed to be the example. We are supposed to be the example which other people are supposed to follow. A Christian and a Seventh-day Adventist in particular should not have double speak. We should not be people who say this when they mean this. And actually, even when you stand firm about what you do, and are firm about what you do, you will be able you will be trusted by people, and you enjoy the peace and the respect that they give you. I spoke about my drinking. You are not like me, so you may not even have gone through that experience. If you have, you thank God for getting you out, isn't it? Life is a journey. And sometimes if you don't take care, you can be derailed and be in a very awkward position. I was first baptized to the Seventh-day Adventist Church on 30th of October, 1965. I was in church, wait until I got to secondary school, and things changed. I started drinking when I was in high school, Kisii High School. Professor, were you in Kisii High School? Our friend is in Karimu too. We started drinking in Kisii High School. When I came to university, I was drinking. When I finished from university and I went to started working in Nakuru, I had a very good business. I was the first Kisii lawyer in Nakuru, and there are very many Kisiis there. I had good business, but I was drinking. And I want those of you who, I mean, you are not in that class, so I want you to tell those who are in that class. It was not a big deal. I was able to pay my rent. I was able to feed my family, take my children to school. I said, no, it's okay. It's okay. This enables me to meet friends. It's okay. But there are things that are important in life which I kept postponing. Procrastination. Some things which I should have done immediately, you just keep them pending. I went like that until one time I told myself it was not on. That time in Nakuru, we didn't have the land registry. These land registries you are seeing here in Naivasha and other, they came the other day. The land registry was only in Nairobi, one, and Mombasa. I could go to Nairobi with documents that I'm going to register. And I drink over the weekend. One weekend, I drank all the money I had. And I had no fuel back to Nakuru. I had no money to fuel my car. Then a brilliant idea came to my mind. I went to Nyamakima. I got a tout there. I got one of them. I said, give me 3 passengers. He got 3 passengers, and I gave him his tip, which was more than what he was getting from the matatu owners. Those people gave me the money. I put fuel, and I drove to Nakuru. And I said, what am I doing? I thought about that. I didn't stop immediately. Another time, I go to Lanet. Those of you who know Nakuru well. Lanet. What is in Lanet? Huh? You know what I'm talking about. That's where booze is what? Is cheap. So we drink there, and I drove home. I think it was about 2:30 a.m. I got home and I slept. The following morning, I could not recollect at all how I drove from the barracks to my home. I live in Nakuru. My home is in Kiamunyi. In fact, close to Kabarak. So I'm crossing through town, a very busy highway. And I got home. It disturbed me. Soon, it didn't take long. Soon after that, a friend of mine was involved in a road accident and he died. When I was away, I was out of the country when he died. When I came back, I decided to want to say Paul to his family. Then while we were there, he was not an Adventist. While we were there, somebody comes and tells his children, look, you relax. Your dad is in heaven. He's praying for you, he's watching you. asking myself, this is what these people are being told, and I knew how this guy had died. He drank himself from around 11 o'clock up to about 1, and he's driving on the highway. Those days there was no double carriage in Nakuru. As you come out of Nakuru, the road is a double carriage. It was only one lane. And I think the buses which were coming with the headlights drove him out of the road. He hit a tree and died on the spot. I told God, I have got to get out of here. I got out of there. I told you on 1st of October, no, 1st of January, 1991. I went to church. Day after I was baptized, and I've never looked back. That's where God has gotten me from. That's where God has gotten me from. The people I used to drink with are all dead. Long died even before I went to church. So when I went to church and I could meet a few of them, Pastor Hogan knows some. What they were asking me says, they used to call me judge, by the way, even those old days, because I was a judge of the trade stands in Nakuru. You know the agricultural show? Agricultural show, the trade stands, they used to get people who could be judges, respectable people who could be judges. I'm not praising myself. That's how I started. And that's how I went to England for the first time in 1988, because I was sponsored to go there. So they were asking and saying, Judge, we understand you have become a pastor. I told them yes. But you can, you come and buy us beer. You don't have to drink yourself. You just come and buy us beer. I told them no. The little I've read from the Bible, I'm not supposed to drink, and I'm not supposed to make anybody drunk. I went with them for a while, and I said, look, I will buy food. See, you are drinking and you are eating. I will buy food, which was actually more expensive than a round of what? Yes. And I went on like that, but after a short while, it didn't take long. After a short while, I realized, because I used to be told that you go to church, where will you get friends? It's like friends are only in bars. So after a short while, I said, no, I don't think this is on now. And that's how I came to church, and I've never looked back. I decided that I want the whole of myself to go to church. If you understand what I mean. The whole of myself to go to what? To church. I am a sinner like anybody else. I have fallen short of the glory of God on many times. But those are occasions when I sleep, like all human beings sleep. But I told myself that I will not want to commit a deliberate sin. I don't want to commit a deliberate sin. And God has been gracious to me. God has been gracious to me. When you are firm, they will go. I mean, people will respect you. In 2010, after the Constitution was promulgated, I was a judge, and we went all, we were changing over from one constitution to another. And the senior government officials, there are people we call state officers, have got to swear allegiance to the what? To the new constitution. And it was mandatory. It was on a Friday, I can't forget. 27th of August 2010 was on a Friday, if my recollection is right. So we judges, we were taken to State House and we were sworn. We were sworn in State House. Now, there were other magistrates, DOs, all over the country, and they had to be sworn into the new constitution. So a list was made for judges to, it is the judges who were going to swear them in. So we were distributed the whole country. The names were called, and my name was not on the list. When I asked, I was told, the registrar says, don't waste your time, Maraga will not go. Tomorrow is Sabbath day, he will not go. I went home and prayed and thanked God for that. People knew my stand. I will not work. I will not go to work on Sabbath. You want me to tell you about 2017? How many watched my interview? I hope this is not being recorded. When we went for that interview, which lasted 4.5 hours, you remember I was asking about the Sabbath. Immediately is money on the box.